it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and it is the 25th of February. So we are almost done with Follow a Sketch February. We are in the last week. I am also in the last little bits of what I have left for my February Color Rush Studio Kit. I think this layout is going to finish off the kit for me. I do have one layout that I made before this that will go live on Thursday. But as you can see, I don't have a lot of papers left. And as you'll see, I don't have a lot of embellishments left. So I'm definitely using what I have. And so today's sketch is from Francis Sylvia. And it's got some layered bits. It's got some tags. I knew I had some tags left. I had this big piece of green heart paper that I was in love with, and I thought it went good with the picture, these two funny pictures of my daughter and one of her best friends. They came over and they decided to make a cake one night, and they ate a bite out of the cake before they frosted it, and they put sprinkles on it, and they were green, and I was like, perfect, I'm going to use this green, and then whatever else I have left. So I had a big piece of that pink tone on tone. So in the sketch, it does look like it has a frame, and I didn't have enough to just frame it. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to basically leave it how it is. I'll trim it down just a smidge. I left the square paper kind of how it is as well. There's definitely a square block that goes behind the photos. I did trim down my photos. They were 4x6. My goal was to trim them down to 2x3. No, 3x4. 3x4. Which I did with the first one, and then the other one I realized I was going to cut too much of them off. So it's a little bit bigger. But if you're looking at the sketch, it almost looks like one of the photos is bigger than the other. It could be an illusion or a justification in my head. I'm not sure. So I had this strip of paper that has the typewriter keys on it. And so I'm going to use that for my long strip. And then I trimmed down a piece of that pink paper with the florals on it. And that's going to be the shelf for my photos. Now, I had 4 tags left. I'm going to use 3 of them. One of them was blue, and I just wasn't sure I wanted to bring in the blue. So that being said, I just kind of decided I would go with these 3. I wasn't super happy that one of the tags is that same tone-on-tone green heart, and now my hearts were sideways, but I decided to get over it. I needed the 3rd tag, and that was the one that needed to be there, so that's the one that's going to be there. I'm going to take a couple of the florals and make a few embellishment clusters. There's like a border strip in the sketch. I'm going to use pom-pom trim for that scallop. I just have that little piece of pink left, so I'm going to get that done. I did have quite a bit of this glittery mint, which I'm not really sure how that happened, but I have quite a bit of it left, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that to make that strip a little bit thicker. Well, when I went to cut the that bottom piece into banners, I realized that the butterflies on the other side were really cute. So instead of the pink, I decided to go with the butterflies. I did go off screen and roughed up all the edges, glued pretty much everything down. Sorry, my son's baseball game I was watching on TV had no sound, but then all of a sudden the sound came up. So everything's roughed up. The edges are there. Everything's glued down. I am struggling a little bit with that pre-printed bow because it's the only blue and purple thing on this layout. I thought maybe I could cover it with that peachy floral, but that was quite excessive. So I put that back down there in the cluster. And at this point, I'm like, okay, this is the only peachy thing I have on here, but the background of the typewriter paper has kind of that peachy tone, so it's not like the the bow on the tag. I did cut the tags so they could fit under there, and then in doing that, I'm actually going to take 2 of the tag bottoms and I'm going to put them in the bottom right-hand corner where I can do some journaling about these girls being funny and making cake one night. So I'm going to layer those 2 up right there. So that worked out pretty good because at first I didn't have any intention, but I glued everything down before I glued in the tags. And so in that case, I had to cut them. So I've created a little cluster up there at the top with some florals as well. And here is where I'm like, okay, what can I put on there? Anything. I can't hold my hands there forever and cover it up. So I will go off screen and I'm going to go grab first I'm going to try anything that I have on my desk. So I have these cute like resin bows, which would be perfect except for the fact that it wasn't big enough. So looking through a couple of my other things, and then I'll go off into my stash. I'm going to grab my bow container, and I am going to find these bows. These bows are a crepe paper bow. They were Magical Forest. They're literally the only thing I have left from that collection. And they have that perfect peachy color. And I was like, okay, so now the peachy color goes really well with the floral. So I feel like I need something that's kind of peachy up here in this cluster up at the top as well. So I had a cut ticket that was kind of orangey, but close enough. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that up there. And I believe that will be the final thing. So here is my layout. I will have the playlist linked down below. I will also have Color Rush Studio linked down below so you can get your hands on a few of these things. You can use my code 10 Crystal and that will save you 10%. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below. I love to chat with you. And there is a look at my final funny layout again. I do need to add a title. So remember to wear your crown. We'll see you next time. Bye.